Welcome to Metallering website, Tommy. It's a great pleasure to talk with you. And first of all, thanks a lot for your time. We really appreciate this time. How are you? How is the band? How has been this pandemic? This kind of stuff.
Okay. First of all, the pleasure's on my side. Thank you for having me. Very nice talking to you. And yeah, the band is fine. So we're looking forward to go on tour. I mean, at the moment, it's the pandemic is going on. So we're a little bit, we are not really, I mean, we're looking forward to go on tour, but, it's blocking, because of the
Yeah.
pandemic thing. But it seems like everything in a couple of months will be gone. So yeah.
Mhm.
So we're in a great mood and very happy to release such a great album on Atomic Fire. So yeah, and now we have an interview.
Okay, so now this is probably a common question in these times we are living. What do
Mhm.
you decide to form this band in the middle of this situation with the pandemic? Because the music industry has been affected a lot by this situation, and
Yeah.
this provoked a lot of uncertainty.
You know, as you might know, I had a project before with Key Marcello called Key of Hearts. So, and we decided after a while, okay, we can't go on with the project because there's so much more. I mean, because the chemistry between me and Key was so strong and so special. And so we decided to form a band. And he already had his solo band behind him, and he was working with Ken and Darby, or he's working with them now for almost 10 years, I think. And so he decided, hey, how about Ken and Darby? Ken was, anyway, he was a part of the project, the Key of Hearts. So we decided just to, yeah, ask Darby if he would be interested in, and he said, "Okay, let's go for it." And we played one show under the name Key of Hearts in Germany in on a festival in Germany it was the Heat Festival in Germany. And yeah, so it was like this. Then we decided, okay, let's go on and let's form a band, and this is what we did. So the pandemic wasn't there, during that time. It was, I think, 2018
Okay.
when we started. So yeah, it was like this. And then we decided to record an album. So we recorded this album. We start. The funny thing is, we were recording 3 demo songs already before we even played together on a stage. So because we rehearsed for this show in Germany in Gothenburg, and Key came up with 3 songs. He came up with Twilight, In a Million Years, and Lighting Up My Dark. And I said, hey, these songs are great. It would be amazing if we could record them right now. And he said, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's rehearse a little bit and then let's go to, let's cut them. And this is what we did. So we recorded 3 tracks. And after the next day, we had a show in Germany. And then we decided, okay, let's form a band. I mean, there's so much potential here. And, we're getting along so great together. Yeah, let's form a band.
Mhm. Okay, okay. So, do you like to be called a supergroup by the media? I mean, we all respect your careers, and rock fans must be happy to see you all working together. But did you feel any kind of pressure when you composed this album because of what people of the media expect from a supergroup?
Oh, I don't know what they expect, but I know exactly that we have here a great band, and there's a lot of chemistry and a lot of talent here. And it's time that we need to go to play some live shows. And yeah, I never, nobody. I mean, I never had the feeling that someone is putting me under pressure because, to be honest, I really don't care. Name me whatever you want. You know what? I know exactly what I am and what I'm doing, and I'm always trying to do the best. So this is all. Anyway, this is everything I can do. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay. Also, into this relating these kind of questions, we have great musicians. When we have great musicians like all you working together, sometimes the result is not that we expect, or it can be difficult to work together for different reasons, like
Mm.
egos, and of course, it takes time to get know each other, as you said. No, so how
Yeah.
was the process of compositions of this new album in that sense?
You know, the thing was, we recorded this album during the pandemic. I mean, in the beginning, we started recording 3 songs together in Gothenburg, but then we finished the whole album during the pandemic. This was the problem. So you know, doing the rehearsal, when we rehearsed for the show, for the Key of Heart, for the first Key of Heart show, we could feel that, hey, there's something special, and we could it could work great, because there was not a lot of blah blah blah. It was not necessary to talk to each other what to do. Darby was playing the drums, and I said, hey, amazing, I love it. First take, he did a take, we recorded one take of the drums, and I said, hey, it's great, let's take it like it is. And it's so great if you have musicians who can achieve things like this, and if they can play first takes. And yeah, so I'm really happy to be a part of the band, and I think I have great musicians next to me, so, and it's not necessary to talk a lot and just do music. I think this is anyway the best what we can do, and yeah, so let's just do this.
Okay, okay. I'm also curious about the band and album's name. What did you pick out of this word? Any special meaning for this? Because it's one of the album from Europe.
Yeah, now we were looking for a band name, and people came up with uh, Key Marcello's Europe and stuff like this. And then we thought, hey, this is boring, and this is anyway not really uh, a good thing to name the band Europe. I mean, to include the word Europe. So the idea came up because Ronnie James Dio, when he was together with Black Sabbath, they decided to change the name too, in Heaven and Hell, because it was a song of Black Sabbath. And we decided, we did the same. So we copied it in a way, because I thought, hey, anyway, the people, your fans, they know exactly Out of This World is an album you've played on. And it was one of your most successful albums while you worked with Europe. So we decided, hey, let's take the name, let's use it as a band name. And anyway, it sounds modern, it's not
Yeah.
just a boring animal name or something like this. So you have a long name, it's Out of This World, sounds modern. And I quite liked it from the beginning. And Key was in when I came up with the idea, he said, I don't know. Oh, but you know what? Let's do it. Why not? Why not? Let's do it. And this is why we decided to pick the name. And I think it's quite good, Out of This World sounds great. And people who know nothing about the past of Key Marcello and about Europe, they will love the name, definitely. And people who knows about the past of Key, they will know exactly, hey, maybe it's Key Marcello, or maybe it has something to do with a band called Europe, you know. So I think it's a great name.
Yes, yes, yes. It's a great name. As you said, it's a modern name. Out of This World
Yeah.
is beyond a classic name from hard rock bands or of this kind of stuff. So, into this matter, congratulations for your success with this new album in Japan, because I see a lot of reviews there, and Japan is very successful album for them. So, how are you feeling with the media and fans' reaction until now with this new album?
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I'm so we're doing a lot of interviews right now, and everybody is really pleased with the album, and they're really surprised that this kind of music even is will be released in 2022, because there are not many bands left who are doing this kind of high quality arena rock like we do. And yeah, so it's amazing. And if you love the album as much as we do, then it's great if you get some kind of feedback like this. So yeah, it's very nice. And these fans are so loyal, our fans are so loyal, and they waited such a long time for an album of a band like Out of This World, because before it was just a project. When we released Key of Hearts, everybody knew that it's just a project. You never know if this band will ever, or this project will ever be on tour or something. But now with Out of This World, it's totally different, and yeah, makes me so happy. And can't wait to go on tour, and can't wait to come to your country, and play there with Out of This World. I think it's time anyway.
Yes, yes, yes. After so many years as professional musicians and have recorded many great albums. How do you feel about this new album in comparison with the times when you began your career? Did you change much this kind of process?
The process, of course, is different. I mean, in the beginning, the first album I recorded it with a producer. You know, it was different. And this time, I recorded my vocals alone because of the pandemic. It wasn't allowed for me to work with an engineer or something. Sometimes I'm recording my vocals with an engineer, so it was not possible. You know, I had to record the vocals on my own. So I was having wearing headphones, singing, and then starting the record and the play button, pushed it and recorded my vocals alone. And then I was picking the vocals, listening to them. It was kind of difficult, different, but it was very exciting to do it this way. So, and the results are amazing. And I think comparing it to the second album I recorded with Fair Warning, there's a it's similar, you know, the feel I have listening to both albums is similar, and this is really what I like about the new album, about the last album I recorded with Out of This World. So uh, to be honest, it was a different way to record the album, but I think the results is it's not. I mean, it's even for me, it's even better, you know, because I could pick what I loved and I could pick what I liked and really liked, and everybody's happy. So you know, so this is wonderful.
Okay, okay. So I had the chance to listen to the whole album, and all
Hmm.
I can say is thank you very much for this one. It's a great one, really, really. I think every fan of melodic hard rock, or EOR is we love it, really, really, we love it. So, what is the key to sound inspired and fresh at this point of your career?
You know, first of all, I'm always trying to give my best, the best I can, because I think our fans deserve it. You know, they are by our side for so many years. I mean, I started my career when I was 21, and some of the fans are still there. You know, they're supporting me now over 30 years. It's amazing. So uh, I think you always have to give them the best, and you need to stay, you know, focused what you're doing. And I'm taking really good care of myself because I'm not taking any drugs. You know, I'm taking care of my health and of my voice, of course, because my fans deserve it. And this is, and I'm still a fan of music myself. I mean, of the music I'm doing. And this is maybe my recipe and the secret, you know. So just do what you like and do it with a lot of love and passion, and stay focused, and always keep in mind, uh, you know, that maybe it could be the last album you ever recorded. So this is the reason why I'm always giving my best, you know. So keep this in mind, and this is maybe my secret, you know.
Hmm. Talking about one of your answers about you son and Fate Ward in the past, so perhaps in the future, and I saw but and I hear a really great difference between your way to sing in Fate Ward into the Out of This World is more modern. You have more experience. You have a lot of things into your voice. So how you practice day by day to for a concert? How do you practice? Because your voice is now, I think, the best thing into this new album compared to the Fair Warning. And perhaps in the future, with this your evolution in the voice, we will have another album from with Fair Warning.
With Fair Warning, I don't know yet because I haven't spoken to the guys for such a long time. Uh, you know, you first of all you need to keep need to keep very good care of your voice. I mean, this is what I'm doing all the time. I'm not having lessons all the time, or warming up my vocals. I'm not like this. I'm really focused when I'm doing music, and I'm really concentrating on what I'm doing, and I'm trying to getting the best out of it always. You know, it's not like I want to keep it fresh, and this is the reason why I'm not listening a lot to the music I'm doing while I'm working on it. Of course, then I'm listening to it, and then it could I could spend hours working on it and doing something, you know, because it's so much fun and it's so exciting for me to yeah, to create something. It's like you creating out of a little thing a big monster, and at the end you're loving it. You know, this is the excitement about it. And yeah, so this is what I'm doing. I'm just focusing, and I'm doing always the best I can. And yeah, as I told you before, I mean, it's a similar question you asked before. Yeah, this is what I'm doing, and this is, yeah. I think I will go with the next album will be the same. Uh, and anyway, if there are some slightly changes or so, I will go for them. I'm not afraid to do changes or to go new ways. You know, I'm always trying to go them. You know, I'm not avoiding them or trying not to do things I have done in the past. I always like to do new things and to risk something sometimes, you know.
Mm, okay, okay. So into the release of this new album, what are your plans after when you what are the plans for what are the future plans for this album? What are the plans for the touring perhaps when this pandemic's much well get older? And if not, what are you think about the streaming shows and as an alternative for the real concerts?
Streaming shows. I'm not a big fan of streaming shows. I think it's not really, the excitement is not there, and it's different if you are in front of a band and you have the volume, you have the sound, you can see the band, and it's totally different. So I'm not a big fan of it, and I don't know if we will ever do things like this. But of course, our future plans. We want to go on tour. We want to tour Japan. We want to tour the world. We want to go on tour and play as much as we can play. And we are already working on new material. I mean, Key wrote already 2 new tracks, and yeah, so we're working on a second album, believe it or not. Because for us, it's not a new album because we released it last year in April, in Japan. So it's already an old album for us. It's already almost 1 year old.
Okay, okay, well that's true. So other thing that I saw in your, as you said, out of this world is a modern name. That's
Mhm.
a very good. I saw your videos out of the space with the planet, this kind of stuff. So if we try to think about the modern area and modern lyrics, then the next album perhaps will take this influence of modern influence with out of space, with technology, this kind of stuff. The next album perhaps.
Oh, perhaps. So we don't know in which direction the album will go right now. But I mean, the music will stay the same. I mean, this is arena rock with a lot of melodies, and this is the music we love, and we always did, I would say. I mean, me and Key, we were always into this, arena melodic rock music, and the sound and the style will be exactly the same. I don't know what will come up next with the cover artwork and with the videos. So it depends sometimes on the director, what kind of ideas he has in mind while you're shooting a video. Or so with a cover artwork, it was, out of this world. We wanted to do something like, in space. If you see something for the first time, something exciting, so you don't know what it is, and it's like with out of this world. It's out of this world. It says out of this world. Um, this is what we had in mind. If you're listening to our album for the first time, it's a new thing. It's a new band, and it's something maybe you've never heard before. So this is the feeling we had. So maybe it's not for some other people, but for us, it's something special. And this is the reason why we thought, okay, it would be nice to include space and technology. This is the reason why we did it. So you never know what will come with the next album. So it's always surprises.
Okay, okay. Well, that's great to hear. So I'm curious. Do you still have time when changing the subject? I'm curious. Do you still have time to listen new bands or music? Cause nowadays there are many bands that keep the legacy of melodic rock bands, hard rock bands, EOR bands. How do you see the hard rock and this style since nowadays?
Yes, sometimes if you're, if you're on the internet, on Facebook or on YouTube, of course, you have a chance to see new bands and new videos, and this is why I mean, sometimes I'm discovering new bands and then I say, hey, this is great. And we have at the moment so many great singers. I'm really surprised, and they're really young and great, talented musicians. And this is really amazing, because I think there was a time maybe 20 years ago, it wasn't like this. You know, we had new musicians, but the quality of the musicians was not really good. Maybe it was because of the music. Who was in fashion, like grunge, you know, so it was not necessary to really be a good musician, I would say. Yeah, so I'm really, this is the way I'm not in, you know, I'm not listening to to a lot of new music at the moment, you know. So if something comes along, and or a friend of mine is recommending me some new music, of course I'm listening to it. But discovering music, I mean, I'm also collecting vinyls. Sometimes friends are coming by and they're, you know, having presents for me, some vinyls. I have here in front of me lots of vinyls at the moment. You know, some things I have to listen to, and yeah, looking forward to it. And yeah, this is the way. I think this is the modern way and the new way to discover new bands. You know, when I was young, I was reading a lot of some magazines, you know, hard rock magazines,
Yeah.
and trying to find yeah, interesting bands in it. And this is what I what happened. It happens a lot that I found on magazines names, and I was reading about the band, and then I became interested in. And these days, the same with the internet.
Okay, okay. Well, as well, we are very close to end this interview, and as usually, as you said, one of the new forms of hearing music, there are a lot of bands, there are digital platforms, because it's very different from the old ways. The old ways is tape trading in tape trading, changed vinyls in the 80s, then the 90s, but as you see, there have been many changes in the music industry during these 30 or 40 years. How do you deal with these changes? For example, the digital platforms that most bands use now also strange situations, like, for example, having a one-side people that listen in singles instead of complete albums. And
Hmm.
on the other side, we have more people buying vinyls nowadays, because it's very a counterproductive thing. Some
Hmm.
people buy a lot of vinyls, but the
Hmm.
new generation, talking about the 15, 20, or perhaps 25 years old, they love to listen the music into the digital platforms with one, two, three, and maximum four songs in an album.
Hmm. Now, for us, it's anyway important, if we're recording an album, we want to put the best music on the album we have, or we wrote. You know what I mean? So we always think in singles in a way. So for us, each song on the album needs to be a great song. You know, and it doesn't matter how many great songs you have on the album. The best thing, of course, is 10 great songs. If you have them on the album, then you have maybe today you have 10 singles, and this is amazing. I mean, if you have a chance to do it like this, but this is, you know, normally not what we decide. We decide just to do write the music, to put it on an album, to let it sound great, and the rest is up to the record company to do and come up with. You know what I mean? So we are not really selling music. We're just recording music, and you know, I think. I don't know. So for me, it was always like this. I love listening to a whole album, because it's much more than just to listening to a single, because you know it's like a cinemascope movie. You know, if you have pan and scan, I don't know if you know pan and scan. It's like a single. You just need a part, can look at a part of the movie. But if you have the widescreen, you have the full. Um, Screen, so you have the perfect view of the whole thing the guy did, in this the director, for example. And this is the same with the musicians. If you're listening to the whole album, you know exactly, okay, this is what they wanted to do with an album. It's just to concentrate on the single, I'm not a big fan of it. But these days, if it is like this, we need to accept it, you know. So but anyway, if the people like one song, and they will discover another song, or discover an older album of us, or of the band we've played in before, then it's fine with me. So this is, you know, you cannot really do something against it. You have to go with the flow. It's normal, you know.
Mhm. Okay, okay. Well, tell me, the sad times arrive at this interview. I hope you enjoyed this one as I did. And thank you very much for your time. This new album is a great one. You are a great musician. You're a great person. It's a glad pleasure to speak with you in front of. So I hope someday I will see out of this world in Europe, perhaps in the US, or perhaps here in Latin America. Who knows? So, is there anything you want to say to your fans, your Latin American fans that expect so many times you bring here in a tour, and Metalero readers?
Yeah, of course. I would like to say thank you very much for your patience and thank you for your love and support during all these years. And we can't wait to come over to your country and to play there. I've never been to South America. I would love to play there, really, and I'm sure about it. The whole band is excited to come over, and hopefully it's going to happen with this album. And yeah, so check out the album if you don't know who Out of This World is. Check out a few singles. You might say on Spotify or I don't know. So listen to them, and I'm sure about you will like him. And if you have a chance to watch us live, come and see the show. You will enjoy it because we have a great set list. I mean, look at us. We have here Europe. We have Key Marcello's solo album. We have Tommy Hart's solo album. We have Fair Warning. We have Zeno. You know, we have Key of Hearts, and now we have Out of This World. I mean, what it would be, I'm sure about it will become a great concert with a lot of songs and a lot of surprises.